First example, these are tidbits. This is like shining a light on a big mess, that I'm shining a light on some instructive parts of this mess that show like a transition period, an important turning point. And the first of these that I would like to mention is the conflict between Emperor Theodosius and St. Ambrose. In 390, a charioteer in Thessalonica was accused of dissolute behavior. And an imperial official of that district had him imprisoned, but the people of the area who enjoyed his charioteering skills demanded his release. One thing led to another, and before you know it, the imperial official was martyred. Theodosius' response was brutal. Although Emperor Theodosius had been instrumental in having Christianity declared the official religion of the Roman Empire, he ordered that the residents of Thessalonica be punished. At a chariot race, his soldiers trapped those attending inside the racetrack, and within 3 hours they had slaughtered around 7,000 people, according to one account, quote, like ears of wheat in the time of harvest. We have the following description from Theodoret in his ecclesiastical history of what was said. So, of course, we don't know if these words were actually uttered, but they're very instructive. Ambrose heard of this catastrophe. He went out to meet the emperor, who on his return to Milan desired to enter the Holy Church. But Ambrose would not allow him to enter, saying, according to Theodoret, "You do not reflect, it seems, O emperor, on the guilt you have incurred by that great massacre. But now that your fury is appeased, do you not perceive the enormity of your crime? How could you lift up in prayer hands steeped in the blood of so unjust a massacre? Depart then, and do not, by a second crime, add to the guilt of the first." Well, story goes on. Finally, Theodosius repents publicly, humiliates himself. And Ambrose extracts a promise from him that he will make it a law that no such massacres could take place in the future. Theodosius agrees, and he is forgiven. But then the emperor, who according to Theodoret was quote unquote full of faith, took courage to enter the church again, and he prayed, neither in a standing nor in a kneeling posture, but throwing himself on the ground. He tore his hair, struck his forehead, shed torrents of tears, and I'm quoting, as he implored forgiveness of God. Ambrose restored him to favor, but forbade him to come inside the altar rail, ordering his deacon to say, and I quote, "The priests alone, O emperor, are permitted to enter within the barriers by the altar. Retire then and remain with the rest of the laity. A purple robe makes emperors, but not priests." Theodosius meekly obeyed, praising Ambrose for his spirit and saying, "Ambrose alone deserves the title of bishop." What a turning point. Of course, Ambrose came from a very powerful family, and he was used to bossing people around, and dealing with emperors came kind of naturally to him. But there you have a very nice pivotal point where the case is made for the superiority of a church official, not Pope, mind you, but Archbishop of Milan, over the emperor. And this distinction between the emperor as a layman and every priest.